Today is the last day. I want to go over anything that has to do with Diane. And the only reason I'm even able to get through today's video is because we're doing it with Boze and her video called I'm the Real Victim. Narcissist mom reacts to her estrangement. We've now seen Boze go through multiple of Diane's videos, and if you're unfamiliar with my side of things, I've gone much more in depth. So while Boze can call her an estranged narcissistic mom, I can call her racist, transphobic, and generally just an. So for the last time, and hopefully a long time, let's dive into Diane.
Oh no, it's her again. I don't know if I can do it.
Oh no! Was she surprised by this? Did one of her editors just go, oh yeah, it's Diane again?
There's demons in your life to reject a parent like this.
Oh my god. I feel triggered just looking at her. She's so powerful.
Said I was emotionally abusive.
Oh, there's Dawn. I talked about Dawn responding to me on TikTok and me only seeing it like 9 months later. I did save it on TikTok and she deleted it. So all I have is this screenshot of her going for Maximino on YouTube. She was actually super nice and receptive in it. So I don't know why she deleted it. I think she was afraid that I was going to make another video.
I buy myself a present for Haley's birthday every year.
I've heard Diane say, I bought myself a present for Haley's birthday. I've heard her say it multiple times in the last week and it still just hurts.
It's gonna happen to you, baby. I just want a hug.
You know what? Honestly, I don't give a
Narc Week is so funny.
Oh my god, I love Narc Week. It's only 15 minutes. It's only 15 minutes.
Dude, I feel the exact same way she does every time I see Diane, except right now it's 21 minutes. It's only 21 minutes. It's only 21 minutes.
We are safe. We are safe.
Can people really heal from the pain of estrangement?
Can people really heal from the pain of estrangement? Hi, I'm Diane. In my very first video, I talked about both my daughter leaving me and forcing me to buy myself a gift on her birthday and forgiveness. The forgiveness I finally found in forgiving myself. She's as healthy as she's ever going to be because she doesn't care. She just wants the attention. You know when you leave food in the microwave after it's done heating up and every like 4 seconds the microwave goes beep, 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 beep. That is what I think of Diane. Diane is just sitting there stewing, overboiled, going, pay attention to me. I need attention. I need attention. Not my husband's attention. That dude's weird. I need attention. I am so surprised that Diane has not started a podcast. Okay, I feel like this kind of counts. Like she definitely tried.
If you're an estranged parent, I know this journey can seem like it's never going to end. You just think, I'll never get over this. There's no way.
When is she gonna stop this little tantrum? Narrative rewriting.
When is my daughter gonna stop her little tantrum and finally pay attention to mine? Mine's been going on longer. It's better produced. My videos are way better and I have a bigger audience. When is she gonna pay attention to me? In the same way that Paul from Paul and Morgan, the fundamentalist Christian couple, Paul adopted Morgan getting into pickleball and then made it all about him. She kind of did the same thing with her daughter, right? Her daughter was a content creator. And so Diane said, you all do better. And I understand that Diane's been making YouTube videos since like 1994. She has multiple channels. But I feel like she didn't try to edit one or make one into a sort of attacking documentary until after she saw her daughter finding some sort of success online.
I love this child. This child has rejected me for whatever reasons.
Yes.
Not to invalidate their reasons.
Oh, you.
Immediately after saying, well, I didn't really believe her reason, so I picked one out of the 40 she gave me, and I still don't think it's that good.
You are.
I'm sure they're good reasons.
No.
In their own heart, because you've got to have some serious demons in your life to reject a parent like this.
Could it have been the parent? Could the parent have been that demon? And you said, be gone, vile demon. Also, in her very first video, I don't know if she cut it out in post or I'm just misremembering the last time I watched it, but she did talk about how she's not religious and that she understands people who find comfort in it, but she's not. And then in videos immediately after goes, this isn't what God meant for us. This isn't what God wants. Us good Christians, like just going in a religious grifting along with like that Republican, we voted for that man grifting she did too. Like the entirety of her channel has been so insincere. Like if you were to take Haley out of this, her daughter, if you were to just try and give Diane the benefit of like, okay, what is she trying to say? She's not a good person. The things that she wants are not to help anyone on either side. She doesn't want her daughter back. She doesn't want to help children. She doesn't want to help the estranged parents. She just wants to make money and make herself look good. She wants people to like her and also pay her. And that's so whack. Like, at the very least, if you're going to do that, provide some sort of service, dude. Like, dress up like a clown. Juggle. Spit on me. Scratch my eyes out. I couldn't remember the last one. It was from an Eminem song. Could you punch me in the stomach and pull my hair? Spit on me, maybe guys my eyes out. Yeah, what's your name, girl? What's your sign? Man, you must be about your mind, Dre. Big goggles blind. I'm just trying to unwind. Okay, I got close. Did you guys know I could juggle? It's such a useless talent. 1,000 likes and I'll throw the balls at Toast. She likes to catch them. She'll catch one and then watch the others. I am a minute and 16 seconds into this video and already trying to find ways to just not engage with the material.
Who is the demon? Where does the demon lie? Where is the lair of the demon?
And the demon said, "Be you angels?" And we said, "Nay. We are but men." Rock, don't tell me I have ADHD. All right, enough of you have told me that. Okay, I just don't want to listen to Diane talk.
Who could it be? Could it be? No. Where is the demon? Where did this trauma come from? This child has told me that I've hurt them, but it must be a demon.
And sometimes they need space to grapple with their own personal
Space from the demon.
issues. But when you're on the parent side, and maybe you didn't get any explanation, a full explanation, or maybe you got an explanation that just seemed kind
Not
of hard
good
to
enough?
fathom.
Not kind of hard to it's
Oh no, not to invalidate her reasons, but maybe you were just given one that was so hard to fathom. I wish Diane was funny and problematic and not just problematic. Like, what if Diane was like, I was the demon and I told her that she would only be safe from me if she hid in the closet. And then when she came out of the closet, I disowned her. That's what you get for trying to go to college, Haley. I had to go back in my own video to see what she was saying. Am I wearing the same hoodie? Maybe. Am I sitting in the exact same position? Okay, mind your business.
Why, that would be the University Industrial Complex. These are the colleges that charge you $200,000 for 4 years of diversity, equity, and inclusion, where they confirm that
What is this?
your gender is anything you want it to be, that others must celebrate your personal view of self. And if they don't, they're transphobes.
Oh, I hate the... That's it. That's all I'm gonna watch from that. Good God. Again, it's not like she's gotten better. She just doesn't say what she thinks anymore. She deleted the video. She deleted multiple videos and she said, wow, damn, really read the room wrong. My favorite pastime is just letting people talk until they say something stupid.
You know, it's incredibly hard to fathom me being the problem. Now,
Boze is the only thing that gets me through these videos.
look, if you're here all this week on Narc Week, you will see these tools over and over and over again. And what tool did we just see? When you lay it out cleanly for the person and they say, what? How did we get here? What are you talking about? Why are you so upset? When you get that reaction, that means you have explained yourself perfectly and you've cornered them. And now the only thing they can do, amnesia.
It's a shock.
Yeah.
Also, why is she breathing so hard? Like, if you turn that camera around, surprise, there's a parking lot.
And basically what you're dealing with, it's a grieving process. It is an ambiguous grieving process because
I really like the way Diane is looking up and to the left like she's Andrew Schultz realizing something. It's ambiguous. It's grieving. It's an ambiguous grieving process. Damn, I just figured that out after saying it 15 times previously.
it is an ambiguous grieving process because you're mourning someone who's still alive,
Yeah.
but who doesn't want to be a part of your life.
Yeah.
And although this is a really tough pill for parents to swallow, I know it was for me. I want to tell you that you can heal. You absolutely can heal.
You know this from experience? From reading it in a book one day? From moving on and not making YouTube videos years later about a daughter who is just trying to live her life?
I've talked to over 100 parents.
Yo, why she got the most hood stance I have ever seen? Why she post up right now like a felon that's about to tell me not to do drugs?
She's doing the chair turnaround. Hey, I'm cool, just like you kids, and I'm here to tell you, parental estrangement, not cool. You're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting the parents who abused you, and that's not cool. Word. Peace out. I'm Diane, and I'm a doctor of thugonomics.
And they've seen what it's done to their friend. I know we're only 2 minutes in, but this is the most tolerable video from her so far. And actually, this is the most accountability I've seen from her so far.
It's because she has learned from every video to hold back her actual thoughts and feelings. And so now it's so diluted. It's no longer, this is my experience, this is how I feel. It is now, parental estrangement, it's hard. Period. It sucks. Period. They have feelings. Period. I went through it too. Period. It's no longer, my daughter Haley did this specific thing to me. She's stupid. Those dirty eeks will figure this all out when they're older. Those stupid DEI hires. Like, she knows not to say any of what she actually thinks anymore.
Not getting much, we're actually getting enough that it's satisfying me. Like, oh, you've really accepted, like, you've been cut off. Look at the water. Look at the water, Diane. Just look at the water. Dingus Dev said, the dare person who comes in to shoot it straight with you.
Parents deeply grappling with this issue, and I've seen all kinds of parents from all kinds of walks of life with all kinds of mindsets and backgrounds and situations. Estrangements are not all the same. They're very different. Every situation is entirely unique. You can't just look at one person's situation, consider it for 5 minutes and say, oh, it's this person's fault or that person's fault. It is very much a multifaceted breakdown.
It is your fault.
Of a relationship, and there can be so many factors. There can
It is
be
your fault.
abuse, there can be mental illness, there can be addictions, there can be ideology.
She only said it once. She said autism once. People did not like it. She never said it again. How nuts would it be for my children to go through something I put them through? That just doesn't make sense. Could I have been the problem? Nay, we are but men. Rock. Alright, I'm not trying to get myself copyright struck.
Y'all ever have a moment that, like, a phrase that somebody said has been burned into your brain for eternity, and you never said anything about it, you never call it out, and then 5 years later, you finally, like, say to the person,
Hey, that thing you said that's been seared into my brain for 5 years really hurt me.
and then they said back,
I never said that.
like, guys, we're at a point where we just have to laugh about it, you know? You know that they said it. You know that it happened. Like, what are we doing?
I guarantee you, if you took any of Diane's quotes from that video, the whole DEI, anti-woke, anti-trans video, and said, did you say this? She would say, no, that doesn't sound like me. I'm not hateful. I'm not spiteful. I'm not resentful. No. And you could play her back the video and be like, not me. That's AI. That's the 5Gs Trump keeps talking about.
See, I know you may feel the rage right now, but eventually it's so funny. I'm like, okay. I have to laugh.
Love you. You cannot make them do anything, because if you've done your job,
Dude, she's
If you had done your job, they probably would have loved you. There are outliers, absolutely, but not enough for you to come online and have this many people disagree with you.
they
Sitting
are
in it.
adults living out in the world, supporting themselves, being their own person, and we just have to let them fly, let them go, let them be. Our job is done. It is tragic when they choose to cut you out of their life. You know, we have all of our own emotions, everything: disgust, shame, shock, fear, sadness, anger, resentment. All of these emotions can just be overwhelming at times, but you need to
Oh my God. Mad Fart 69, introspective username and introspective question, said, can you talk about the dynamic between a narc parent and a narc child and how it's them against the rest of the siblings who see it for what it is? That dynamic is a nightmare when there is a narc parent, narc child, and then one other child that doesn't have other siblings to talk to. The narc child, they will bond with the narc parent by triangulating against that child, and they will never know what's going on. So if you are in that dynamic, you might feel it. You have this sibling, maybe an older or younger sibling that is obsessed. Well, of course, it's an older or younger sibling, right? But you'll have this sibling that is obsessed with their parents' validation, and they will both put you down in order to get it. And then they bond more. It's a fucking nightmare. And when you finally get out of it, you will have so much more depth, so much more knowledge. And that sibling is still going to be chasing their parent around. And that parent will never let that sibling go. And that will be their life forever. Like, imagine you get into your 30s or so, and your sibling, your sister, is still like,
I'm still mom's favorite. I still won mom.
okay, weirdo. All right, have fun with that. If you're in that dynamic, go do anything else, and you will be so much happier. You won. You literally won while they're like wrestling each other, and they're like, and then also their dynamic is weird, right? That's just weird. Next.
I hate how easily my brain is primed. Like, I'll hear something and immediately want to go into a rant about something else that I've heard. And I need you to understand that I don't know where we are in the video right now. I'm 7 minutes and 46 seconds in Boze's video, and I've been recording for 45 because I just yap. And so I hear things like this, and then I think of the Reddit story I heard on TikTok yesterday, where this woman is telling a story of how her now ex-husband, I hope, told her about how they all got together and would abuse their youngest sibling because their dad, prior to passing away, was convinced that the youngest sibling wasn't actually his, but the product of an affair that his wife had. And so he started abusing the kid. After he died, the mom took over and got the other children to help her. And when he's telling the story to his wife is putting together that he is 10 years older than his youngest sibling, that he was old enough to know better. And at the end of it all, she asks if they ever apologized. And her husband goes, no. He's an adult. He doesn't need us to apologize. He'll get over it. And it's almost excusable to say you were a child, you didn't know. But to then as an adult go, no, who cares? That's when it's a problem. So if you're a sibling in this situation, so afraid of not having the approval of your parents that you're willing to do terrible, terrible things for it, that's weird. That's weird. That's just weird, dude.
So yes, we go back and we reflect and we think about what did we do wrong and what could we have done better, and you know, you sort of sift through the rubble of your life and just try to make sense of it all. And so that's a process. It's a process. It goes on for a while. There's some deep reflection.
Vampire discovers reflection. I don't believe it.
That you go through, but you know, in the end, you can't beat yourself up forever. You know, yes, acknowledge what you did wrong. Yes, do better next time. All of those things, but ultimately you have to forgive yourself.
In saying acknowledge what you did wrong, you have to understand that it is from the viewpoint of the parents. Okay, maybe I didn't do that one thing. Because that's what she did. She said, okay, maybe I didn't buy you that candy, but I made sure you were fed. That was her acknowledgement of what she did wrong. It is not what the daughter thinks she did wrong. It is not what anyone else thinks she did wrong. It is what she is willing to say maybe she was not perfect in. And in the same way she said, I tried my hardest to be her parent. If this is the most that you can admit to, cool. It is not enough. In the same way that you probably maybe did try your hardest to be a good parent, but it wasn't enough. Somehow your max effort does not reach the bare minimum. And that is not someone who should be giving anyone else advice on how to be a person, let alone a good person, let alone a parent, let alone a good parent.
Ooh.
And you have to forgive the child, too.
Has anyone else noticed, because we've been watching her journey, that like she's saying different things than she said in the past?
If anyone can get me in contact with Boze, I want to give Boze Diane's like racist DEI rant because it's not available online. And I want Boze to see it if she wants it, because she's not going to find it just casually going through Diane's stuff. And it is probably the epitome of Diane being Diane.
And she'll come right back around to, and you've got to forgive the child. Girl, forgive the child for what? If she had not gone on this victim tirade to punish her daughter for cutting her off and stalking her on social media and making all these insane claims, do you think there's a world where, you know, 3, 4, 5 years later, she may have let her mom back into her life, even the way she was with her tactics, just been like, damn, you know, I miss my mom?
The only reason I want to say no is because Haley was already pretty old. At one point during Diane's original video, she mentions Haley turning 29. And so I think if you're willing to put up with your parents up until your late 20s and then leave, I think you've probably made up your mind pretty well. And she didn't do that thing that a lot of people do where when she sets a boundary, it's a soft boundary. and then eventually she works her way up to just not speaking to them. She set that boundary of like, hey, don't contact me, and was contacted multiple times and didn't respond at all. And so I think Haley is probably like old enough to hopefully know what she wants and to hopefully just sit there and let it set. Maybe if Diane just like didn't say anything until Haley was 35, Haley could be like, okay, let's see what my mom is up to. But Diane isn't someone who's ever going to change her behavior or the way that she thinks. She's someone who's going to hide that from those who are going to criticize her. And unfortunately, that probably doesn't extend to her own house. And so I don't think it would ever actually find any sort of positive resolution.
It happens, you know? But now, with all of this shit that she's done on YouTube, she has dug this hole so deep that she may never, ever have a relationship with her child again. She may never meet her grandchildren. They may never talk again. And what's crazy about this is this woman had a trait where she was so desperate for control and victimhood that she just completely blacked herself out of the next 30 years of her daughter's life, or forever, basically, because she just couldn't handle the rejection. Like, yo, shut up, go to therapy, sit down, and maybe you'll get to meet your grandchildren. But like, dude, because for me personally, if I cut off a family member and they did this on YouTube, I will never, ever speak to you again. And you can count on that. That is the one truth and honor that I will keep to myself. You can count on that, buddy.
Yeah, it's one thing to be like, oh, the people in my family aren't great people, but they're my family and I deal with them. And a complete different thing to be like, oh, the people in my family are very publicly bad people. I do not want to be associated with them. Congrats, Diane. You put this all out on the internet and nobody likes you. And the few people who do agree with her are just people who are also in her situation. It's the same way that people go on anti-women rants and then a bunch of single men who wish they were in a relationship are like, yeah, we hate women. Women aren't worth the time. The people that agree with you are not people whose situations you would like to be in. And that probably says enough.
Because one of the resentments that we parents carry pretty closely through this process for a while is anger and resentment of the child for
ooh, the tone when she said
just
anger.
Dump us, basically.
Dump us.
Yeah, it's a romantic relationship the way that you've only ever known it to be one-sided, Diane. Is this what every romantic relationship was for you leading up to Ted, and maybe even with Ted? It's just you really liking one person who's gonna resent you?
Wait, and guess what? That can be done. The thought that you own or control a human being because you are their parent is, I understand the roots of it, but it is just simply not true. You must love and care for your child to some degree. Otherwise, no, they don't have to be there. I know, it's shocking. It's absolutely insane, but it's true. In her desperate attempt of control and punishing the child, can you guys imagine how empty it's going to feel in 10 or 15 years when she legitimately has no contact with her daughter?
I guess that's kind of a good point. Like, how much longer can you keep making these videos, and how much longer will you keep making them when they're not getting the reception that you want them to? The main reason she stopped for a few months was because she wasn't getting any attention. It has nothing to do with like, oh, I want to help parents or I've told my story. It is not enough people are paying attention to me for me to want to make these videos. And so how much longer can she keep making these if no one's going to watch? No one's going to listen before she is just sad and alone and no longer has anyone to talk to.
Like, I actually don't think that she thinks that this is pain. This is nowhere near what she's going to feel in 10 or 15 years. It's nowhere near. It's really not.
And that's really all we can do is make the best of a bad situation.
I thought that was a big butt.
I did too. I wasn't going to say that, but she said it. So now I'm like, that's a booty.
Wait, is it? Why does it look like a thick acorn? What the fuck is this?
I have done
Mario Odyssey wet nut percent in Diane's video. That is such a niche reference.
I have done a lot of internal reflection, and sure, I take accountability for my
Upon internal review, we have decided that I've done nothing wrong, by the way. Just saying. Like, I did an internal review. I thought, did I do something wrong? And then I said no. So I don't know what else you want from me.
My part in whatever I think might have gone wrong with my daughter.
I think she gave me a fully fleshed out letter explaining to me what I did wrong. But that doesn't count. So what I think I did wrong was like, maybe I loved her too much, you know?
Not 100% sure all the things because there's no contact, but there are some things. And yeah, for what I did, I totally get it. And that's all I can do. I'm not going to beat myself up or flagellate myself in front of the entire internet.
But you will beat her up and make yourself look good. This is my primary problem with these people. She is more than happy to get super hyper specific when it is what she thinks she's right about and what her daughter did. But when it comes to taking any sort of accountability, it's boring and mundane and just like this overall, yeah, maybe I did a few wrong things. But when it comes to your daughter, she chose to become estranged because of her politics, because she's political. And now her exotic cosplays, and now all these dumb things that you were willing to be specific about. But when it comes to you, you're just like, oh, maybe she didn't like the way I went. Come here, Chris. I'm supposed to raise a child that doesn't like Family Guy? What's wrong with her? Today's video is me avoiding Diane so hard that I just start showing all the random things I think I can do. Is this your card?
Oh, what did you cut out there, ma'am? What was cut out? I was about to say, there's moments where like she says things that I have to say are better than the previous video, but then she'll just add this little hook on. She'll be like, you know, I do take accountability for what that little fucking bitch did to me.
It is what it is. And part of the healing journey is accepting what is, facing the truth, no matter how harsh or ugly it is, and accepting responsibility for your part.
Yo, so subtle. No matter how ugly it is. And you know, the big part is accepting responsibility. Like, holy shit. She's getting better, but we're still in the trenches, guys.
No matter how harsh.
No. She did not put the cat, what was I made for, in here.
Or ugly it is, and accepting responsibility for your part in it, and forgiving yourself, forgiving your child, forgiving anyone else who was a participant perhaps in the situation.
I so badly just want to see her do that in real time. If I had one wish in this entire world, it would not be to end world hunger. It would not be to be financially secure. It would not be the most prosperous, gorgeous life for me and my girlfriend. It would be to get Diane in a room with everyone she's ever done wrong and to let her go around going, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. To all of them for all of her own mistakes. Remember that time you called me racist for saying black students are just DEI and aren't qualified to be doctors? Yeah, I forgive you for that. Remember that time I made a video saying if there are any licensed therapists that want to tell me I'm a narcissist, then okay, but not you dirty, stupid, estranged adult children? And then a licensed therapist commented under my video and I deleted it? And then when that licensed therapist made a video about me, I copyright struck it? To that licensed therapist, I forgive you. It's not your fault you're stupid. I need to start going to church. I need to start going to mass. I need to start praying to God and just thanking them for not putting someone like Diane in my life permanently. Diane, you're in your mid-50s, dude. You're a couple daily lattes away from being incontinent. Enjoy your final years and try to be a better person. Don't just sit here and complain about people who don't want anything to do with you.
Wishing them well, blessing them, and just moving on with life. We're like leaves in the river of life.
Did she just say we're like leaves in the river of life? Jesus Christ. Katie said, Boze, what are you supposed to do when the older sibling is estranged and the parents take it out on the younger ones? Hey, when it's time to go, leave. Go. Look, if you're 16, 17, start ramping up for that job, honey. I moved out when I was 17.
I was like, I must leave. Goodbye,
everybody. You can do it, girl. You guys band together and get out and stop talking to him. Move on.
Also, if the older sibling in that situation is in a position to help you out, they probably will, considering that they know exactly what you're going through. Like when I left, right, when I was a child, I got a lot of angry calls from my cousins, from my aunts, from people who were like, oh, how could you do this? One person who did not blame me was my sister, because she was there. She saw it happen. So if you have a sibling that's already gone through what you're going through, they will hopefully be willing to help you in whatever way they can.
Listen, I know that not everybody can move out. I moved in with 5 people. I had 5 roommates. I was the 6th. I lived in a room that only contained a bed, okay? I did not even have a plug in the room that I was in. It was not an actual bedroom. It was like a little area where they just set up a curtain for me. And I lived there, okay? I lived there and I got my head on straight. If you need to live in a little hole for a minute, if you need to go to a shelter or something, believe it or not, sometimes it is better than staying there. And also, you need to know too, if you have some kind of narc family member or narc parent or something like that, because look, guys, sometimes it's a guardian. If you have somebody like that, they will make you believe that you cannot take care of yourself.
I'm going to let it keep going, but yeah, I've also experienced a situation where I'm sleeping on people's floors or literally in a curtained off section of like a walk-in closet. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. Not having privacy takes a lot of like a mental toll out of you, but it's a lot better than living with certain people.
I will never forget paying my bills and having a person say,
You can't even pay your bills.
why are the lights on? Why is the rent paid? What are you talking about? Okay, they will make you think that you can't live out on your own. But the reality is that they need you in the house. They need you as supply. They need to trigger you. They need to get attention from you. They need to get things from you, okay? If you are in that environment, like, look, at 16, start working. If you can. I know everybody can't. But for the ones that can, start working, go do whatever, figure it out. You gotta go. You gotta leave. Go move in with a friend. Go live with 6 roommates. Go move in with your significant other. I don't even know. But believe it or not, you gotta go.
When my last relationship ended and I was alone in San Diego and my rent was very high, especially for one person, I thought about moving in with a ton of people. Just one of those houses with like 6 bedrooms where the rent was like $1,200 each. And I was like, oh yeah, that would make this much easier. I didn't. But I thought about it for a while.
It's just what you do sometimes, all right? I think I was in that situation for like 6 or 7 months, and then I saved up and I got a place. So
It is what it is, baby.
let me just say this one more time. I understand not everybody can get out. I am just telling you what I did. That's it.
So there's a lot of different ways that parents cope with the pain of estrangement. Some of them join Facebook groups.
Some of them joined Facebook groups and then make YouTube channels dedicated to hating these estranged adult children under the guise of healing, under the guise of finding parents who are just like me and helping them move on to the next step, which I say is, getting over it. But actually that next step is making sure you're resentful, not only towards your children, but mine, because part of joining my group is agreeing with me. All right, Diane, repeat it back to me.
Some of them read books. Some of them go to therapy. Some of them take courses.
Damn, I was wrong. Also, she only did half of this. She joined Facebook groups, did not read the book, the one book that was going to agree with her that she still couldn't get herself to read, couldn't go to therapy because why would she? She's perfect. Take an online course. No, she started one. She's an expert now.
Some people find friends in their community who are going through the same thing and connect with those people. Some people find a lot of comfort in their church community. There is no right or wrong way to approach the coping of estrangement.
There is a wrong way, and it is to make a YouTube channel dedicated to attacking your daughter. There is a wrong way to do this. There is a wrong way to say, I want what's best for my kid. Psych. If I can't abuse her in person, I'm going to do it online. There is a wrong way to do things, and it is exactly the way you did.
Everybody does it differently. Everybody does it on their own time. You just have to work through it in the best way you know how. We've had a private community for about a year, a little over a year now.
This is where she plugs it. I think this is the last time she's plugged it too. I don't think she's getting very much attention.
And
Wait, tell me why on the top left here, why is it her with her face
a
covered
private community
out?
for
Look.
about a year,
What?
a little over a year now.
She means her profile picture. It's Diane with a little red crossed out. Like, who hurt you? But that's her profile picture, and it is literally like anything else that Diane has ever done. It is her rejecting herself, but pretending that someone else is doing it. She's the victim. We got to remember that. We have to remember that Diane is the victim of her own stupid decisions.
The community for about a year,
What?
a little over a year now, and it's just a beautiful small community. We like it that way.
Victim
it's an
chat.
oasis, honestly, of tranquility, where
Victim
you
chat.
can pour your heart out in a safe space, and we all help.
I think if that was really like a good place to be, she would have blurred out people's names and people's like pictures, but not their messages, not their supportive, heartwarming messages.
Each other work through our various issues, because every single one of us has a unique set of circumstances that we're facing in the estrangement. And the other thing I want to let you know is that we've gone ahead and created a program to help parents go from heartbreak to healing if this kind of a structured environment
Dude, I have a crazy idea. You should stop being a bitch. Just saying.
works best for you.
We created this because so many parents reached out, heartbroken, frustrated, and feeling stuck.
Yo, this little infomercial, this little voice over here, this is another control thing. It's like, I am not alone. I have people. I have people that support me, and your words don't mean anything.
This is also a direct reflection of criticizing her daughter earlier for having people online who have turned her against her. But Diane, the people who agree with you are online and only online. She said in her original video that after her daughter left her, she also lost other personal friends. The only people that she has found that have agreed with her are other people online aside from Ted. So it's just another bullet point in times Diane has been narcissistic and hypocritical.
It's just like more ego stuff, man. Like this, you look, at the end of the day, you may never meet your grandchildren because of this YouTube channel. And you think it hurts now, you are going to be in a world of hurt in 10 years.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
She's going to take that as a threat too if she ever sees Boze's video.
May as well just keep making videos at this point, because there's no turning back after this.
Many had tried therapy, books, and support groups with little relief, and some had even attempted professional reconciliation, only to find it pushed their kids further away. The reality...
Okay, I gotta skip through her little commercial. I can't do it. Jesus.
My personal guidance as a mom who's been there and come out.
My personal guidance as a mom. She is now the leader of the estranged narc moms.
How funny would it have been if the Cardinals blew the smoke and out came Diane as the new pope?
You don't have to be angry. You don't have to be resentful. You don't have to be miserable all of the time. You don't have to be so depressed you don't want to get out of bed. Yes, are all those reactions valid? 100%. You're going to have these feelings. But the point is, you need to understand that they're temporary. These feelings are temporary, and if you just kind of take that perspective and you're able to step out of yourself and just realize as they're kind of more like this, my own conflict, and give out. I've spoken to them, they're not already of parents. We have these children. We love these children.
Boze, how many times did you say it's 15 minutes, it's only 15 minutes, it's only 15 minutes to start this? I get it, I'm here with you.
We love these children no matter what. Thick and thin, whether they're here or not. We love them, and we love them forever. And they can't change that. And
We're going to love these children no matter what. We're going to love them forever, and they can't change that. Do you hear the control language in there? Disguised as love. I don't want this love. I don't want it. You can keep it. And actually, it's so funny. She says, I'm going to love them no matter what, and they can't change that. Actually, I'm going to put a wall between me and that love that you're trying to get me. And
you can't say that to Diane, because Diane is going to be like, see, I told you it was a good idea when I said build that wall.
I'm never going to receive it. It's funny because like energetically you can tell them that I'm never going to receive this. There's a wall. Your love hits the wall and it stops right fucking there.
People like Diane don't care if you're loved by them. They only care whether or not they think they love you. That's their job. Their job isn't for their children to be raised well. It's to have children and then tell them that they're being raised. Their job is to say, I love you, not to show it. Their job is to remind you that they love you, not to in any way give you any reason to believe them. She'll spend what she says was 1.5 years or 3 years making a video to tell her daughter that she misses her and she loves her, but didn't spend any time showing her daughter that in person. All she wants is attention. All she needs is attention, actually money too. All she wants is attention and money. And her daughter's a marketing tool. And the day that completely stops working, she'll be an afterthought.
Receive this. There's a wall. Your love hits the wall and it stops right fucking there. It's gonna sound so corny, but like you either tell them you keep that and you keep loving that wall and I will be on the other side of it. So fuck off. That one is very annoying to me. Yeah, love denied. Deny their love. I'm gonna deny your love. And then you can't deny your love and you'll be like, oh yeah, I did. It's not coming through. It's so crazy to me that like this is also confining and controlling and it's under the guise of love. I rebuke that, honey. You keep it.
We love these children no matter what. Thick and thin, whether they're here or not. We love them and we're going to love them forever. And they can't change that. And it's just, the door is open. The door is open if they want to come through, but if they don't, then that's fine too. The point is to get to a spot in your life where it's okay either way. It's okay if they come back. It's okay if they don't come back. It's okay.
She says, the door's open. They can walk right through it. They can walk through it. I need you to visually imagine yourself walking up to her door and closing it and walking away. Because then what would they do? Like, I mean, really, like through imagery, picture that. They're going to freak out and be like, no, I'm going to open the door again. But like, you've already closed it and you're already gone. Like somehow, energetically, I need you to do that. Like, oh my God, how funny is that?
So, it's 2025. Make this your year to heal. You can make this choice. Make it your choice. In our community, that's our theme this year. We're going to make this our best year ever, no matter what our kids decide to do or not do. And
Brother, you should have just been a better parent. It's not up to the children to teach you how to be a parent. It's really not.
as parents who raise these children with love and in good faith to the best of our...
Editor, can I get an explosion? We will be back all this week for Narc Week.
I don't know how she does that.
Week. God, why have I not done this every single year? If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do. And also, if this is your first time seeing these videos, yo, honey, baby, sweetie, we got a whole playlist. I've been getting triggered watching this shit for years. So I'll see you tomorrow.
I don't know how Boze puts herself through all of these for a week. I can't do it. It makes my chest hurt. Oh, I can't tell if I'm like at that age where I'm ready to have a heart attack, but if I'm not, I'm getting close. I'm 27 and dying. It's wild how everyone will tell someone like her she's the problem, but in her mind, she can't be anything but the victim. She has to be the victim, otherwise she'll have to realize she's just experiencing the consequences of her own actions. I have not seen a single content creator agree with Diane. And the thing about making content that is so divisive is that you have an entire half of the internet that's usually really willing to agree with you. When an alpha male puts out content that says women aren't people, half the internet goes, yeah, I agree. Half the internet goes, he's just telling the truth. But when Diane specifically puts out any type of content, anyone who is not in the situation she pretends to be in can easily see she is the problem. She always has been the problem, and until the day she dies, she will be the problem, and probably even after that somehow. That woman is gonna leave hundreds of videos unlisted, ready to be published after her death going, damn, I can't believe you let me die without reaching out. You suck, at her daughter. And what sucks is that Diane isn't stupid. As much as I want to pretend that she's a lot dumber than she is, she's not. She may not have the ability to feel remorseful or sorry or to be able to tell when she's wrong, but she's not stupid. She doesn't mix her YouTube channels. She doesn't go on her car camping channel and go, oh, by the way, I'm the estranged mom who makes these weird videos. She doesn't advertise her car camping channel on this channel because she knows to keep them separate. She is an actor who represents the different parts of her life as different people rather than just different parts of her. She's an estranged mom here and a bad person. She's a car camper here and also a bad person. She's a real estate person here and also, surprise, a colonizer. She is exactly who I would never want to have anywhere around me. This is it. I don't want to see Diane's face for a long time. I don't want to hear her voice for a long time. I'm good. If she puts out another few videos, I'm not going to touch them for a while. If Boze puts out another video, I'm not going to touch it for a while. Of the talents that Diane possesses, her only one actually might be to be able to drain people. I feel completely drained, devoid of energy, life, any sort of good feelings whenever I hear her voice, and I'm going to take a break from that for a while. So thank you for spending time with me. This is my favorite thing to do. You're my favorite people to do it with. If you saw me juggle, know you did it. All right, get out of here. Go. Goodbye.